Okay, now Chris will give our devotional. Yay.
Okay. So hello everyone. I just wanted my devotion. So I don't know if you all were as cliche as I was in freshman year, but I remember that the first time that I came to Brown, my first year, I really wanted to change the world. And I'm not saying this for like dramatic or ironic effect either. The first time that I met Eddie in the Blue Room, I remember this very clearly. I think he actually asked me the question, Chris, what do you want to get out of college? And my answer to that question was, Eddie, I know what I want to get out of college. I want to learn how to change the world. So, yeah, I'm sure you got a good pick out of that one. Maybe he's heard that a lot. But so, it's been 4 years since then. So, yeah, I'm a senior now. And I guess the natural question to ask would be, well, what happened? Do you feel ready to go out into the world now, to make a difference? What will your life mean? And these questions have certainly been on my mind a lot this last semester, this last couple of weeks here at Brown. Sometimes at inconvenient times, like in the morning, but yeah, so that's been on my mind a lot. And I think that amidst all this questioning, kind of very unexpected and even uncomfortable book of the Bible has come back to guide me along the way. So my devotion today will be on the book of Ecclesiastes. But first, I'd like to read. I'm only going to be reading 2 verses, not the entire book. So I'd like to start with chapter 1, verse 2. I'm going to read from the NIV because that's what I grew up with, and I'm always going to remember this verse in the NIV translation. So chapter 1, verse 2. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. It's no exaggeration to say that this is the verse that made me become a Christian in some ways. This was the first book that really convicted me when I was young. And if you're not familiar with Ecclesiastes, it's full of the teacher, this figure, who's often attributed to King Solomon, kind of deconstructs a lot of things in life that people might often, I guess, say is the meaning of their life, such as wealth, prosperity, and like a whole slew of other things. And when I was young, I remember what really spoke to me, of course, was, well, not of course, but what really spoke to me was the bit about what is the meaning of hard work. Because when I was young, I was like, oh, you just work hard to do well in life. But Ecclesiastes challenged me to think of, oh, well, time washes away all achievement in the end. Everyone will be forgotten. Some shorter, some sooner than others. Certainly people like Tolstoy, maybe you'll be remembered for a long time. even he'll be forgotten eventually, just like me. So, and we spend all this time working hard, and it just passes, whatever you build, just passes on to the next generation. And who even knows what we'll do with it. So, those were the kind of things that really struck me when I was young. So that's when I was young, but I'd like to share a more modern example, more recent example, I guess, of why Ecclesiastes has continued to speak to me, and that's what I mean by return to me. There was a period of time when I was very content in my understanding of the book. So if you will, Justin, please show a picture. Okay, so what is meaningless about this picture? It's extremely clear. It is the fact that I have to wear cat ears. Right, so this was my senior year of high school. I was participating in the Yale Physics Olympics. Because that's what you did in high school, right? You went to all these competitions and whatnot, you got the cute little medals and whatever. So that's what you did in high school, so I was there too. And our team name was Short News Cats, so that's why we're wearing the cat ears. It's not because we just like cats. Anyway, the point of this is not actually to say that it's meaningless because I'm wearing cat ears. Actually, I want to talk more about the young man on the left. So his name's Neil, and he was one of my best friends in high school. We did a lot of things together. We were in almost all the same classes. Most of the same after-school clubs, including this one. Chess club was one of my favorites with him. He was like the best chess player in our state. I could never come close to beating him. Yeah, so we did a lot of things. We were very similar people in many ways. Played the same games, hung out a lot, had good conversations about faith and about what to do in college. But in our sophomore year, Neil developed a really rare brain tumor that is typically not found in people of his age, typically found in younger children. So I guess his lay dormant or something, but it was all very sudden. And he was given 3 months to live. And he fought it off for 9 months, actually. But in February of last year, so my junior year, or our junior year, he passed away. Yeah, very suddenly. So I think if you need any more evidence that life is meaningless, just everything that we do is ultimately eventually gone. And life is horrifically, brutally random. Death just strikes at any time and takes people away too. So what are we to make of all this? So I'd like to share the second verse, and it comes from the end of Ecclesiastes. So I'm going to go through the whole thing. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. So it reads, "Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind." And I think when you read this at first, it doesn't feel very satisfying. At least it didn't to me. Like, okay, teacher, you've shown me that everything in life is meaningless. I feel pretty bad now, thank you. But how are you going to resolve any of this? You're just going to say, fear God and keep his commandments. It doesn't seem like much of an answer. But actually, when I think about it now, as I understand it, it's very liberating. And that if everything indeed really is meaningless, then what's the point of being anxious and worrying about any of it? It frees us to really enjoy, as the teacher says towards the end of Ecclesiastes, to enjoy the small things in life. Because we know that this is not the way that the world is meant to be. Because God created the world with a purpose, with an intention, and sin has corrupted it so that we can no longer see it. We know that one day Jesus will return to clear away all the fog that currently covers the meaning that does exist in the world, but that we cannot see. So what does this all have to do with changing the world, as I began with? Well, like everything else, it's meaningless. Come on. It's meaningless, sure. Well, it's meaningless without the gospel, that is. Because God can put meaning into meaningless things. Because without God, really everything that we think is wonderful in life, that, out of the faith or in the faith, it all just becomes in vain. Really everything. And when I picture a life like that, it's really just complete and utter despair. It's like I can't picture what that's like to know that nothing really matters in the end. But with God, he sent his only son so that we wouldn't have to know this. So that we could reconnect to God and rediscover the meaning that got lost in our original sin. And just reframing that for me, it's been such a blessing to know that as I ask these questions, sometimes at 2 in the morning. And I'm very thankful that Ecclesiastes has come back to guide me in that way. So, yeah, just take this all from me. I'm just a moody, disillusioned senior graduating in a couple of weeks. But I hope that you'll take something out of this. If you look at me, and I identify with Solomon a lot in that, teacher, because, I feel like when I look at myself outwardly, I don't have much to complain about. Like, my family is very happy, satisfied. Kathy is a wonderful sister. I love my family. I've had rants about Brown, but whatever, I still appreciate my education very much and all the blessings that society has given to me. And when I think about the future, I'm not in fear. I feel content and I feel secure in what I'm doing. I have so many things that, at least from the worldly perspective, are amazing. It should be satisfying. So just take it from me, graduating senior, that the vapors of meaninglessness are never far behind. They really are. They really are, no matter what you do. No matter what you do, I think Ecclesiastes will always come back, at least for me especially, at the time when you least expect it, to make you feel just a little bit uncomfortable, because that's really how it should be as a Christian. So just hope that this devotional helps to remind everyone that we should always be seeking God in everything, because without Him, everything is really just vain. What has any meaning at all? Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now we're going to get into prayer groups, so let's count off in 5. So